Okay, so here we are looking at direct variation, right? We're going to look at direct variation. So, what do you understand by direct variation? Direct variation is a form of variation in which when one variable increases, the other variable increases at a constant rate, right? So, for example, S is directly proportional to Y. What that means is that as S increases, S is a variable, right? As S increases, Y also increases. So a direct variation is a form of variation in which when one variable increases, the other variable increases at a constant rate. So as X increases, Y also increases. That is what a direct variation is all about. So here I have X to be directly proportional to Y, right? So to remove this sign of proportionality, I will have to bring in a constant called K. So to remove this sign of proportionality, I will bring in a constant K. So my X will be equal to KY, right? So where K is equal to what? A constant. Is a constant, right? So K will be, if I should make K the subject of the formula, K will be equal to X all over Y, right? K will be equal to X all over Y. So this is very important. When one variable increases, the other variable increases at a constant rate in direct variation. So let's look at a question because this is the most important part of this discussion. So if X is directly proportional to Y, if X is directly proportional to Y and X is equal to 3 when Y is equal to 12, find the relationship between X and Y. If S is directly proportional to Y and X is equal to 3 when Y is equal to 12, find the relationship between X and Y, right? So let's put the solution here. If X is directly proportional to Y when X is equal to 3, so I have X to be equal to 3 and then Y to be equal to 12. So if X is directly proportional to Y, if X is directly proportional to Y and X is equal to 3, Y is equal to 12, which is what I have here. Find the relationship between X and Y. So what we're looking for is the relationship between X and Y when X is equal to 3 and Y is equal to 12, right? So what I would want to do here is to remove this sign of proportionality, right? This sign is called sign of proportionality. Again, this sign is called sign of proportionality. So to remove this sign of proportionality, I will have to bring in a constant. So by bringing in a constant, my X will be equal to KY, right? This K is the constant, right? So if X is equal to KY, what will now be my K? My K will now be equal to X over Y, right? K will be equal to X over Y. So if K is equal to X over Y, I am given that the value of X is what? 3. So my K, my constant, will be equal to 3, which is the value of X. X is equal to 3 over Y. My Y is what? 12. So K will be equal to 3 all over 12, right? So 3 here is 1, 3 here is what? 4. So my K will be equal to 1 all over 4. So this is my constant. This is my value for K. The question is find the relationship between X and Y. So what is the relationship between X and Y? We already have here that X is equal to what? KY. X is equal to KY, right? So if I bring in this, I have X is equal to KY. This is very important. Now I calculated the value of k to be 1 all over 4. So if I put the value of k here as 1 all over 4, my equation will now be x is equal to, k is what? 1 all over 4, right? 1 all over 4 times what? Times this y. So 1 times y will give us y. So my x will be equal to y all over 4. So this is the relationship between x and y in this question. So this is the answer to this question. This is the relationship between x and y. So the relationship between x and y is x is equal to y all over 4. Right? So let's look at another question to make this more clear. If x is directly proportional to y and x is equal to 120 when y is equal to 30, find the formula connecting x and y. Right? So we are given the options here. If x is directly proportional to y and x is equal to 120, so we're given that x is equal to 120 and then y is equal to 30. So if x is directly proportional to y, if x is directly proportional to y and x is equal to 120 when y is equal to 30, find the formula connecting x and y. So the first thing I want to do here is to remove this sign of proportionality, right? By removing this sign of proportionality, I will have to bring in a constant. So by bringing in a constant, my x will be equal to ky, right? The reason why I'm bringing in this constant is to remove this sign of proportionality. So if I make k the subject of the formula, my k will be equal to x over y, right? So this is very important. Now, my constant will be equal to, the value of x is what? 120. So 120 over the value of y is what? 30 over 30. So 0 will cancel at 0. 3 here is 1. 3 here is 4, right? So my k is equal to 4. So if k is equal to 4, and then from here, from this point, I have x is equal to ky. X is equal to ky, right? So my k is equal to 4. K is equal to 4. So x will be equal to ky. Instead of me to write k, I will put the value there, which is what? 4. K, that's 4, what? 4y. So this is my answer. This is the formula that connects x and y. So the correct option to this question is x is equal to 4y. That's option C. So option C is the correct answer, right? So this is very simple and straightforward. Very simple and straightforward.